me think. So last time, we had some adventures in some rooms. We woke up after a bad mephit attack, and then we came down into a room where a group of cultists were, by all appearances, going to sacrifice a child to a pool of evil ink.
Nice.
And
Dark ones from
most of us started beating them up. Some of us just kind of stole cloaks in the back corner, but helped.
One of us got possessed.
Oh yeah, that happened too. But we're still alive, and the kid's still alive, so that's what matters. And we're about to finish off the last cultist.
Who was glowing hands with something. Something bad's gonna happen, I'm sure.
Wasn't he down?
That was a different guy. He was going to cast a spell.
Oh.
So we have a different cultist still alive.
But he's down, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think for all intents and purposes, that cultist is dead. I'm just gonna let that person be dead because, that'd be a chore.
So, actually, the last cultist was also dead. I just forgot about that part. That's all.
So they're all dead now?
Yeah, we did it, guys. We saved the kid.
So you've got this unconscious kid. So after all these crazy events happened, and you guys murdered a whole bunch of people in rows, there's a whole bunch of bodies laying all over the floor now. It's kind of gross. What you gonna do?
I would be tempted to go and pickpocket the bodies, but at the same time, I don't think I want to.
Well, they are gross, so take your pick.
Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna leave. I want to stay with the kid and just make sure we get out of here all safe and in one
I
piece.
don't think we did anything.
I want to... Oh yeah, I raised my hand. I want to check out the boxes and tables around, especially the altar and the statue. Should I roll?
Yeah, give me an investigation.
So I'm gonna glance around at everything. Uh-oh.
Hey, does anyone have
So I got 9.
a healing potion? I think I might need one.
No. So I got 9 as I'm glancing around.
I already
things.
used the one that
I'm
Hugh
especially
had.
interested in what you described as a box full of malformed body parts, I believe was what you said.
I think it was hands.
Okay. What's up with that?
Hands. There are a bunch of gross, dismembered hands. Just a whole bunch. Really nasty. You think one of those is, like different varieties?
She's here.
It's like an assorted box of hands. Only gross and for witches.
What about, are all of the boxes full of hands?
Not all the boxes, just most of them. No, I'm just kidding. Only that box is full of hands. I don't remember what the other ones had.
Is it right?
That one is taken, so.
So what's going on?
We were just exploring the room. Perception check.
A whole bunch of dead bodies all over the floor, bleeding, tons of black oil. Gross.
We should take the
Nothing
kid back.
new?
We should take the kid back and get
right off where we started.
money.
Okay. I thought you were running away.
I vote for taking the kid back and getting money.
Yeah, okay, I like that idea.
I vote for getting a healing potion or going to sleep.
Before we do either of those
What's your
things,
problem?
so
I still
we
have
have
a team.
we have a box of mixed hands, we have a normal table, and what was with the altar?
Alright, so the altar. It's pretty simple stone, carved out of similar rock to the room. Nothing really sticks out to you though, it's pretty plain. Mostly just a big slab of rock.
And the pool is perfectly round, the mysterious pool of oil.
It's a lot rounder than it ought to be.
And the statue is the same as the one upstairs.
Yeah, it looks the same.
Hey, Grok, you should touch it.
I'm curious. Well, my Grog is not doing too great. He's got 6 hit points left.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I got more hit points than him than any of the other guys.
I got ice blasted, okay? So
I wonder whose fault that is.
Grog is feeling like,
your balls, kid.
at this point, he just wants to go home. I just want to go home,
Fair.
get some money, and take a nap.
Grog is feeling groggy.
Yes. Yes, quite.
I second that.
Okay.
I'm okay
Yep.
with leaving the cave.
I definitely want to get out of here.
All right.
Alright, get on board, you giant man over there. Why don't you carry the kid?
Head on up the
He can carry
stairs.
the, he can carry the kid.
I can carry both the kids.
Both the kids. Hey, it's me!
You can carry me.
Carry all the
Just
children.
carry you like a sack of potatoes.
She probably go like this.
All right, you guys go back up the stairs.
I legitimately feel like my character.
Can we return to
wants to
the
play
town?
games the whole
You guys can go all the way out of the caves if you want.
Yes, that's what we're doing.
I think that's what we're doing.
We're definitely
I want to go
we-
say
do we
hi to
take
the
a-
other cultist guy.
Do we have a risk of something
On our way
happening
out.
as we walk
You guys
out?
met him.
As always.
Like
No,
the
he was
Mephits?
standing there.
Yeah,
He was like,
He was looking at
oh, we're like, yeah, okay.
That's true. That is that weird cultist.
So I do want to say hi to him on our way out.
Okay.
While we're going up,
Well, as you go by, you know, the room you were in where all the Mephits came and attacked you guys.
Uh-huh.
You guys got absolutely jumped. Yeah, those Mephits, they're not there anymore. They're gone. No signs.
which while we're going
No
up,
cursing.
I wanted to look for like a big long board or something. Like just a long chunk of wood.
I thought the pit trap was already covered with, like, had a rope all along the
Oh, it
wall.
did?
and-
Yeah, it
We already
does.
tied a rope.
Yeah, Grog actually was
That's how
a
we
little
got
bit too
across.
effective at solving that for Grog.
His ideal is creativity, Ben.
He is very wise.
Well, I'm gonna look for a piece of wood anyways, cause
Okay. There's no
Yours
wood.
is creativity.
Darn.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Mine's people.
There's nothing long enough to do that.
okay,
It's,
can I
it's about like
continue?
15 feet.
Grog's idea of creativity is unique in manifestation. So
Sure. So you go back, you want to look for the original cultist?
I'm just gonna peek my head and see if he's there and say hi as we make our way out.
There's nobody there now.
Oh, that's sad.
They're gone. For reasons you don't really understand, but
There's nothing else in the room, right? Nothing shiny.
you want to search it?
Yes.
I think we already searched that one. Did we
I know.
smash things? I swear we smashed everything in that
You
room.
smashed some
You
things.
smashed a thing in the name of
Wait,
the
it's
call.
perception, right?
That's right.
I remember that.
Roll me an investigation.
You know, like the call tells me to smash it.
Oh, that's higher. That's 11.
Yeah, no, it's mostly the same things you saw before.
Okay, cool.
Not enough to give you bonus points or anything. There's nothing weird.
Cool. Yeah.
All right.
Make our way out.
All right.
Okay.
Everyone's out of the caves. You survived the first, I guess, official.
Call.
That was a hard
Oh.
dungeon to survive. So I say we go, guys. I say we go back to the tavern and take the kid back. And
I mean, if everybody's gonna put some long rests up,
You close the door.
I
Oh,
would
it's fine.
love to
I
go
could
steal
shout at Wolf
something.
and make him level up more.
Do we take the kid back to the manor? I guess.
Well,
The
we
mayor
don't know who the
left.
kid is, right?
Did he ever wake up?
I say we take him back to
Oh,
the
did he
tavern.
wake up, DM?
He's not up.
I say we take him back to the tavern and resuscitate him.
With beer.
Yes. There's no drinking laws.
That you know of, I guess.
I don't know.
All right. So you're all out of the cave now. You're in the town again. Let me switch to more appropriate music.
Is it?
Appropriate.
What time of day is it now? Are we walking out in the late evening, nighttime? We did
That's a
take a
good
long
question.
rest, so maybe it's the next morning.
It would be like the next day, probably in the afternoon, I bet.
The morning of the second day.
The afternoon of the second day.
That song sounded like it was from that game.
Which game?
Majora's Mask.
Yeah,
Basically, yeah.
like it sounded like it was directly pulled from it.
Lazy music. All right. So you're back in town, I guess.
I'm assuming we've
No,
taken
there's
a
more.
short rest.
So
Is it the morning of the second
walking
day?
down.
you can see the sun's actually pretty high in the sky. Yeah, it's
We took a long rest while we were down there, remember?
it's true. It's almost like sundown, actually.
Can we just get to the inn already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You guys are gonna
I
have
don't
the
think
end?
we officially
Yes.
said that I was riding on your shoulders.
All right. I'll let you guys just go straight to the end.
Okay.
Anything of note on the way there?
We are a little secret.
Celebrations? What?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I just
At
like
least
every
one hug.
chance that I get now, I just want to run
least
my
one hug.
shoulders.
Festivities are kind of winding down in a little bit. It's been in the evening. It's like they're gonna have like sort of a chill time, but there are more days of celebration, so people aren't gonna stay up late. It's
Alright.
first day. I mean,
That's boring.
Welcome
yeah,
back.
you celebrate for 12 days and you see how it goes.
Fair.
But did
Can
we just say what day of celebration it was?
It was the
Sorry.
evening of the first day.
Evening of the first day, so...
If we're at the tavern and people are just
So what
chilling,
are they celebrating?
Okay.
Oh, it's Florentine.
Oh, is it always Florin Toad?
It's a several day long flower festival.
12-day festival.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a different party every day.
Oh yeah, there is. It's just...
Different
Nah.
flowers every day.
It's not
Oh, it's
technically-
different flowers, not
but it's
different.
still the first day, so we
The
haven't
party is
progressed.
sort of different each day.
It's like Hanukkah. It's several days long.
Full day resting.
A lot of
Welcome back to the tavern, everybody. We're finally back here.
So we're in the tavern.
Yeah, you're in the town.
I don't have to heal, so can I like play a card game with anybody there and do a sleight of hand thing? Like steal money?
You could try. If you want to.
I mean, if everybody else is just gonna chill, then
I want to see if I can
We
do
still aren't done with the unconscious child.
huh?
I still don't think you're actually good as a character.
It's true. When we get back to
I
the
see you as
tavern,
neutral. Or
when we
evil.
get back to the tavern, I feel like
It's
we should
not
try to
evil. She's
resuscitate
definitely not
her.
evil. She likes people, so maybe she might be neutral, but
It
she
doesn't
doesn't
matter
like
how much you
people.
like people. That doesn't change if you're good or evil.
Is this water?
It's how you treat people.
Tis.
An evil person can absolutely love everyone around them. But if they extort everybody for money, that means they might actually be more selfish than not.
But that doesn't make them evil if they're selfish.
Well, not in the way you're thinking.
We might have different definitions of
A little
evil.
different, but the idea is that your evil is like, I'll murder people, or I'm going to take this because I want to hurt them. But that's not what evil and
Well, it's usually to
evil
tear
is.
down a society or an ideal. But she doesn't necessarily want to tear down anything. She's just
So
Technically,
anyways,
because it's fun.
Ladies, you're both beautiful.
Yeah.
as the DM, I'm the most beautiful. Anyway,
It's true.
Okay,
I won't argue.
Let us lay down the child on a table and seek the innkeeper.
Can we get like a room? We still have a room, don't we? We rented a
We
room.
have to turn in the kid first. Innkeeper!
Yes, let's put
Right?
the kid
Innkeeper!
it's
in the
really loud.
room so we
You
can
actually
put him
see this huge guy that you've seen before. He's usually hunched over behind like a counter or something, so he doesn't look as big as he really is. He's almost as big as Nakia, and he's not a Goliath.
Wow.
So he's
And
basically
he's
that.
this huge, kind of like really solid person, and he's just kind of gruff looking.
Okay.
But he doesn't look like he's gonna punch anybody. He looks just he's like huge.
I am still intimidated. But, innkeeper! We have rescued one of the kidnapped children.
Yeah, good for you.
Do you know where Lord Radomir is these days? The Lord Mayor?
Go to his house.
I thought he was evacuating his house.
What does he know? He's the innkeeper.
Innkeeper's supposed to
literally
know
his
so
response.
much if you go to any video game.
That's
They're
why.
like
He's
the
the
focus
authority
of
figure.
it.
I mean, just, while she's complaining to the innkeeper, I just want to verify. We have rooms, right? Like, we rented out rooms. We
Yeah,
should...
he's still got rooms.
Okay. Just
what we did last
let's take this boy up to our room. We'll put
Okay.
him on the bed.
Okay.
And I am good. No, we need to find a healer. Maybe the innkeeper knows where the nearest healer is.
Or we could sleep.
You can sleep. I've
I-
got full health.
The innkeeper,
Yeah, I
do
do
you
too.
do you know anything about resuscitating people?
Well,
Yeah, do you have anything there?
Or
that-
anyone that
do you have
would.
anything there that could
Yeah,
wake
do
people
you
up?
do you know
we could roll
where
a first aid
a
check.
healer is in the town?
Oh, for Pete's sake, let me do it.
Oh,
Can you heal people?
I have an herbalist kit. I assume that means.
You've been holding out
it
on us
doesn't
this
do
whole
any good if
time.
you don't know how to use it.
An herbalist kid is not necessarily the best
He's
thing for combat.
he's unconscious, which doesn't necessarily mean that he's.
But we mainly just want this guy to wake up. This kid to
Yeah.
wake up. Because we don't really know
I
who
don't.
they are.
I don't
Maybe he just needs to sleep.
injured.
I think we should
think
just let him in
he's
the bed and sleep tonight. He should be fine.
Well, before that, I guess I'll.
Hey, look, you guys, hit up the church.
Because it is getting dark, right? We were sure on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it's getting dark, I say we let the kid rest and we go in the morning. Take a long rest.
I mean, he's stabilized.
Anyway, so the innkeeper
okay
tells
with
you that the church is where most people get their actual medicine because that's people who have time to practice medicine.
There you go, Nakia. You can go to the church.
Okay.
Send the Goliath sorcerer to the church. All right. That can't go wrong.
The Goliath sorcerer who doesn't like
Well, it's
to
better
cast
than any
spells.
of us going to the church because they'll steal stuff. I'll smash things. Warren probably wouldn't even go if we asked him to.
That's
So
cool.
are we taking the kid to a bed or to the church?
The kid is
Yeah, what exactly are we doing?
The kid is currently on a bed in one of our
The
rooms.
kid is in a bed in the room, and we are taking a long rest.
Yeah,
You
well,
guys are just gonna battle this out until you.
whether or not
We are not a very
I
disciplined
am
group,
okay.
guys.
I am okay if you go take a long rest because
I'm going.
you guys
I'm,
need the
I'm
hit
already
points
in
and I
my
want
bed.
you guys to hit But if you guys are gonna take a long rest, I'd like to play 3-card Monty in the tavern.
You can do that. I'm sticking with the kid in the room.
Yep, I'm asleep. I'm already out.
Okay.
I
You can't
will.
even wake me up. I have my special night.
You play 3-card Monty with me?
No, I was gonna just do a first aid check on this kid.
Is that the
Right,
special
make it
night?
happen.
Do it.
Okay, so I did it. I rolled a 12, looking this kid over.
Okay.
Anything wrong with him? Feeling him down for broken bones.
You do know this kid has been knocked out. Somebody
That's
must
bad.
have nailed him in the head with something. He's got a bruise.
Ooh.
Hopefully not Neil.
But other than that,
That would be bad. We'll just call him Pinhead from now on.
I try waking him up.
Wait, did we just take a long
Cold
rest?
water.
yeah,
Yeah.
everyone gets to take a long rest here.
I still want to play 3-card Monty
Okay.
in the tavern.
That's absolutely fine because the long rest lets you everyone do a thing, light thing, not actually hard. So.
Yeah. Cool.
So like you can definitely play cards for your rest. Give me a roll on. I guess you could say that was it.
Sleight of hand.
I don't think sleight of hand is the one I need. Deception,
Deception.
because you know you're probably lying.
I feel like it's kind of both. Well, it's 3-card Monty. Like it's
True. Well, okay.
The
So
idea of it
here's the question: Would you try to deceive people, or are you trying to do a trick with your hands?
I'm
She is
both.
deceiving
Because
with her
I am
handprints.
trying to get money off of
You're
people.
not gonna get
Making-
roll with both bonuses.
What? No, I know. This is why I'm letting you decide because just what she wants is to get money off of people, so people make bets on the cards on which one it is, and they're wrong. Either because of deception and sleight of hand.
So you're gonna use your tricks to get money. Is the idea? Then it's sleight of hand. Go for it.
Okay.
See if you can make those tricks happen.
18. No,
Alright.
16.
Well, it goes pretty well, actually. You managed to fool a few people. They don't seem to really catch on to your card switching and a few clever kind of ruses you've pulled up. And you kind of make it look good enough that it's not like they throw you out.
Cool.
Which is lucky for you, because I mean, where else would you go but the end?
Could hang out in a
That
abandoned
could have gone
house.
really poorly.
As long as people are having
One of Lord Radimir's spare rooms.
You make about like 5 gold.
Okay.
Actually, it's a lot of betting. But I mean, that's your
The
entire.
money.
Yeah,
She has a lot of money too, so that'd be.
That's true.
that'd be a
Oh
lot
wow,
of
I have a lot of money.
you're gonna be spending a lot though in the end.
Someday I will not have that many
Okay,
gold pieces.
so are we ready to? Before we head out to,
Wait, are you talking about tomorrow
the
morning?
frog is by me.
are we up to tomorrow morning yet?
Everyone gets to do one thing if they
he's
want.
so
If they don't,
familiar.
they can just rest. And
Let's go around. Anybody else doing anything?
I'm sleeping.
I'm just staying by the kid. I want to make sure he's okay.
So I am sleeping, but I'm gonna wake up early to apply a disguise with my disguise kit.
Okay,
Okay.
That's cool.
you can totally do that.
Okay. Fake mustache.
Fake mustache?
Fake mustache.
That's it?
Great.
Yep. Fake
So
mustache.
you're gonna no longer look like you?
Are we gonna
Because
all
you have
roll
a
to see
mustache.
if it
Oh, yes.
fools us?
Give me
No.
a deception roll.
No, because I am deceiving the Lord guy because I smashed all the stuff in his house. A what roll?
Deception.
Oh, good.
I don't think he saw
19.
you specifically.
19. Deception roll.
I am just Grog's evil twin brother.
Okay.
Oh dear.
And
It's
for
like
you,
putting on-
what were you doing?
It's like Superman putting on his glasses.
Did you ever see Thrilling Intent, their show?
No.
One of the characters literally did that.
I was
Great.
thinking of Foster's, where he's in the bathroom putting the eyebrow liner, and he's like, "Oh, I am
So,
here. He's
I am now-
from Keystone
I am
Pond."
now known as Evil Grog,
Evil Grog.
and he has a mustache. It's a
I swear you've seen the same thing I'm talking about. Anyway,
disguise.
Wait, are you gonna tell us all it's a disguise, or just wait for us to figure it out?
That's an aside. That's something you'll figure out.
okay. And anyone else doing anything?
I'm gonna have
Carly,
absolutely
what
no
were you
idea
doing
that it's
for the long rest?
I'm just staying by the kid, making sure he's okay.
absolutely
Wait for him to
no
wake
idea.
Okay.
Let's see.
Long rest achieved.
up. Sing little lullabies
Where
to
you
him.
at?
Aww.
You're so cute. You're so much better than me.
You have no, what was it?
Civic virtue.
Yeah, there you go. You have no civic virtue.
Okay. So the morning comes.
Yeah.
Okay, the morning comes.
Morning comes. Wake up.
Yeah.
Cock crows.
Oh.
I assume everyone goes down to the main
Yes.
floor of the inn. Most inns have this main sort of room
Right,
where stuff can happen, and then the rooms tend to be on the sides
Yes.
or upper floor.
Hey, is the kid awake?
Wanna play 3-card Monty?
When everyone comes down the stairs,
Well,
I am
it's gonna
sitting in
wake
the
up
corner
yet.
twirling my mustache
That's not good.
because I woke up early to play the Magic
That's
Guys.
a nasty concussion. Maybe we shouldn't have waited.
You wanna play 3-card Monty?
Also, we need to take this
that
kid to the
creepy
church
guy in the
first
corner?
thing, but who's this?
I would reveal myself to you guys. I'll take off my mustache. Guys, it's me.
Oh my
That
god.
mustache, man, it really suits your features.
So I put it back on. You guys have no idea. Okay. Just kidding.
So the kid is still asleep.
Still out, yeah.
Still out.
Okay.
The breathing you did notice has been sort of
Stabilized?
stable,
Okay.
so it's not like they're dead.
But that doesn't bode well for a concussion.
No.
Guys, let's get this kid to that church the innkeeper told us about in his gruff, manly voice.
True.
I'll bring him
We
on my
rescued the missing
back
kid. Good for you.
like a sack of
Although
potatoes.
I was assuming that you were going to carry him. I was just like,
I'm just
I was just
holding him
not-
by his legs.
I don't think not kid should be carrying the kid. Just Grog.
I'll do it.
Or just
I'll do it.
Grog's evil twin. Yeah, take the
Evil Grog will kill me.
Evil Grog, that's right.
You may refer to me as such for the foreseeable future.
Evil Grog. Alright, we'll head off to the church then.
Not gonna lie, I actually just applied that disguise kit because I just realized I still have one. And I've never used it. Alright,
okay.
so we're heading to the church.
It's a beautiful morning of the second day of Florentin. Florendal?
Florentold.
Florentold.
And today's festivities are a bit different than the other ones. All the flowers that were, originally daisies are now carnations.
Carnations.
And
Isn't that a type of breakfast?
No.
That's a kind of mill.
Yep.
they symbolize, in case you want to know, which you probably don't, fascination and a new love is kind of the idea. It's also like new relationships and
Oh
things
my
like that.
goodness.
New relationships? I want to make a friend.
You have a frog.
I have a frog! Can I make this frog my friend?
Special friend.
You just cannot just have frogs randomly. You have to earn the frog.
Can I do a charisma check on a random friend?
Everything.
You don't have time for frog personally.
All of the things that the DM just said about Florentold, I know and am telling you. Because I rolled a really great religion check a long time ago about Florentold.
That's true.
So I educate you on the way to the church.
Okay.
Yeah,
May I
absolutely.
try and pick someone's pockets on the way?
To try and find a frog in someone's
You
pocket.
can try, they're a lot less huggy today as like just random huggies, and now it's more just like, people who've already met are like really friendly, It's kind of like the idea
People are
is
more
that
friendly.
they're friendly to people they know now.
Oh,
If they-
they're not as openly.
It's not just everyone now. It's
Can I keep
like
an
your
eye out
friends.
in the crowd for that little messenger boy that we...
So you can intimidate him again.
But he doesn't know who I am now.
That says you, but
It was at 19 on my discuss. Oh,
Yeah. But seriously, man, you're acting like these people are idiots. They're not. You have to come up with something good before I'm actually gonna let you perform feats of deity disguise.
What about like the Superman with his
I'm okay with
glasses?
just the fact that there's a mustache and Grog thinks that everyone doesn't know who he
Sure,
is.
that's absolutely fine.
He fooled us, that's what matters.
Which probably makes sense because nobody really would remember him anyway.
I'm
Just
just.
kidding. Just kidding.
Actually,
That was a pretty strong intimidation. I'm sure that kid is having nightmares about you.
That's what I was gonna say. I was just teasing because everyone in the room.
You know, people know who you are. Basically, it's not easy to disguise here.
I did hug quite a few people. when we were
That's
there.
true. That's true. And if any of them could recognize you, they'd probably be friendly to you
Yes.
too.
Yes.
But clearly, you are
Okay.
in absolute disguise.
So we're going to the
We are at the
big
church.
talking thing,
Church
people,
place.
but you know they're not really carrying.
I was gonna
valuables
try
around
and-
the
Like
entire
he's carrying
I was
flowers.
just gonna rifle through just Grog's pockets and see what comes up. Just randomly.
Randomly.
It doesn't even have to be gold.
Well, make a roll to.
Okay.
You
But-
said you wanted to repair our relationship.
I do. This is a game changer.
But with you, Grog, not normal Grog.
Wait, it's sleight of hand, right?
Yeah, sleight of hand.
That's a 19.
You have 7 sleight of hand? Oh my goodness.
She's very good at what she does,
That's true.
which is not her alignment. Anyway.
I just changed it to
On all
neutral.
the sharp things. I
You know,
have in
because
there.
you just don't have civic virtue, and I think
Yeah.
that's an
What's
important part of a
your
good person.
perception?
I was thinking like if she had civic virtue, she'd be good, but she doesn't, so I changed it to neutral.
Can we
That's
not
true.
take 3 hours to get to the church?
Just roll.
Alright.
Make your defense roll.
Yeah,
This
I got
one
a
can be-
10.
Yeah.
So she probably stole something from me.
Oh, do you have anything cool? Any
I
trinkets
your
you'd be carrying
treasures?
on you?
Well,
She should
I
take your disguise
feel like you should
kit.
just roll a
You
like
should take his,
d20 and see what comes up.
take his disguise kit.
What?
did you roll something?
Yeah, what's 11th down?
In my what? In what?
In your items.
My equipment?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a torch.
Do you want the torch?
Yes, I do.
Alright, you may take the torch.
I am down to 8 torches.
But that's
Okay.
basically the only
This is
opportunity.
literally just a game tour.
Alright, let's get to the. Let's get
Okay, anyway.
Alright, you guys make it to the church. Yeah, the church is up by the old well, kind of.
by the old wall.
The same well from the creepy manor? Of
Pretty
all the
close.
undead?
That was to the east. You guys are sort of on the west of the main road that led to the well, so you're not really in that same zone.
I thought you said we were.
Is this the well that I was
No,
trying to
like
throw a rock
the original manor.
Oh, the original manor. I
The
didn't
one
know
you
there
went
was
to
a well
wasn't a
there.
manor, it was a house.
Yeah, I recognize the whale. I wanted to throw a rock in it. I still kind of do.
It's a very pristine, beautiful well in the middle of the city, and
I'll throw a rock.
it's old.
He's going to drop a rock in the
Very
whale.
pristine.
I want to drop a rock in the well. Can I drop a rock in the well?
Okay. You go and drop a rock in the well, and you know, there's kind of a guard who sees you do that, and he runs up and he's like, "You can't do that. Don't mind."
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is he
I just wanted to see what would happen.
Is he Jamaican?
No.
He's just rough.
I just wanted to see what
Well,
would
he's just
happen.
really startled that someone would desecrate, you know, the town water supply. That's a felony offense in most towns like this. Like, people go to prison for that.
Is she gonna
People
get-
die for that. You know, he's upset because you might have actually poisoned the well and killed the entire town.
I'm putting a rock in the. Oh, you think
It's their water source.
You just poisoned
Well, guys,
everyone in the town.
I'm putting a rock in there?
I think she earns a point of guilt and shame for that.
Well, she wasn't trying to kill anybody.
Aw.
What did you do?
The guard is very...
She drops a rock in the well.
Grog was zoning out for a little while. He
I
was
dropped
just
a rock in the well and the guard got mad.
Yeah, well,
Sounds like the start of a song.
you're not really allowed to like put things in people's water sources. That's not okay in this town.
Civic virtue.
So we're...
It's also kind of sacred
Okay,
to them,
okay.
so it's a real big
So
deal.
we're at the
the church.
You're not at the church. You're being accosted by a guard because Coos decided to assault their holy water.
I'm so sorry.
The church.
We're backing away from her, though.
All right, so
So
what
the
you
whale.
gonna do?
We got a whale here.
Probably
When they
using
come for you.
either deception or charisma to convince him that it
All right,
was
make a roll with
innocent.
disadvantage.
disadvantage.
I doesn't like you.
Well, that's a 4, so we'll. Oh.
There was a net 20.
Doesn't matter.
Oh no.
What do I add to it?
Charisma or what?
Or deception.
Deception.
Well, I guess it's not deceiving if I'm telling him that I wasn't doing it. I was
Persuasion.
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 Which is the same
Persuasion.
anyway. Persuasion, unless you're.
Oh, my persuasion's 6.
Oh, yeah.
So that would be
Doesn't
10.
Yeah.
Same thing. Doesn't do it for this guard. He's like, you do that again, and you'll be out of this town. You'll probably
Okay.
be out of life.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
He's like, and I'm gonna fine you 30 gold.
30 gold?
Yeah, because he's like, you should know better than that.
Didn't you already do that? I swear you already put something in that water hole twice.
No, I wasn't here for that.
No, she didn't.
I was the one that was,
wanted to.
I was thinking about it, but I didn't.
Okay, that's
She didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
And so he's basically, I mean, he does have a sword on him, and he's accosting you for money. So,
You'd
gonna
better
give him
give it
30
to
gold?
him.
Sure.
All right,
But
30
as
gold.
he turns away, may I also steal from him?
All right. It's not like there's any advantage there, though. You're gonna have to make a sleight of hand, I think, yeah?
Meanwhile, this
Wow.
boy is dying of a concussion.
I suck today. That's still a 9, though.
So here's the whale. Where's the church in
Yeah,
relation
that's not
to
gonna
this?
do it. He's pretty aware of you right now.
Okay.
You make the attempt, and he kind of makes a gesture, and you recognize the gesture as "don't do it or die." It's very much a like, I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that because if I had to see that, I would actually have to bring you to prison. And he just doesn't want to because it's a holiday. So you got off lucky.
Finally in the church, taking the concussed boy to the church.
Alright, so we walk the boy into the church.
Yeah. All right. So you see a whole bunch of, benches, pretty classic stuff. You see sort of a kind of a podium at one end. There's some glass, but not too much stained glass. That's really pricey. And you also see, some small alcoves, some shrines kind of towards the end. They're all pretty big statues, though, not necessarily pocketable ones. Because I know you guys are paying attention to that. And,
The statues aren't stealable.
well, you could always try. And, then also, there's
Great statue eyes.
a couple kind of people in kind of dress like they're, religious people.
Okay.
And, but it seems like there's not a ton of people in the church right now. Because people are mostly out and about in the day right now.
Okay,
So what are you guys gonna do?
just poke our heads in and say, hey, can anybody heal anybody?
Is there a doctor in the house?
That's a good one. That's a good way to say it.
In the house?
That's better than... That's better. Can you guys heal?
We're coming into your hoose.
Oh dear.
It's in the boat.
There's a moose in the hoose.
Loose.
Anyway,
Okay, so...
so one of them comes up to you most officially. I always say the most official, right? And this person kind of comes together. This is a lady, in this case.
Okay.
And she's like,
This.
so you want me to heal somebody?
Alright, I just gesture to the boy that
Put-
Grog's carrying.
I'd put him on a bench. Like, gently.
Oh dear.
Evil Grog represents all that's evil to Grog, so he doesn't smash things.
I like this Grog.
And he's more gentle. Grog is committed to this character. Okay,
It's like a role play within a role play.
yes. It's roleplay inception. Okay.
All right. So she walks over. She gives him a kind of a little once over. She's like, "Oh, this is Ingo.
Who's Ingo?
The friend of
Ingo. Always getting into trouble.
No, where's he from?
From here. She kind of gives you this look like you're not very bright,
he's
but she's humoring you.
he's the friend of the Ravenstadt boy. He's
Gravistat?
oh, thank you. Yeah, the Gravenstadt boy who is playing.
All
So the
kids
grab-
look alike to me. But is this the one we're looking for?
He's one of them.
He's one of two that you guys were looking for. I'll refresh you.
Okay.
There were two children that had gone missing. There was Hugh, who was the noble heir, and then there was Ingo, who was his friend. This is Ingo,
Okay.
at least according to the church lady, which you haven't actually got their name yet.
I think the other kid's dead.
His hand was in that bowl of oil that he
Based on
spilled
your
it on
guys'
the
track,
floor.
they're probably way long dead.
Desecrated it, man.
Can you heal this young man, Ingo?
Of course. She's like, it'll take some time though. Miracles don't come in a moment.
Some do.
No, I've been healed before. It's pretty quick. I had a snap neck and then all of a sudden I didn't anymore. It was amazing.
Yes.
She just looks at me like,
I would
shut up.
You probably don't understand how it actually works then.
Is there any way we could?
But she gives you this look like, you poor summer child.
I would look at her and is there any way we could speed it up and then make like the money symbol, like the universal money?
Oh my
She
god!
gives you this look like, what are all these idiots doing in my church?
Would we have to leave him here or?
I mean, you guys would know who have any sort of religious score at all. But she's probably taken a vow of poverty, so she doesn't care about money.
My guy's religion score is really low.
What's
Well, there you
religion? Oh, mine's higher.
So, do we have to leave him here then while he's healing, or?
That would be the way it would work.
All right, guys, huddle up. Do we trust leaving the kid here when we haven't been paid yet?
Okay, this lady has nothing to do with us getting paid. I'm worried about his health. I trust the lady to heal him. We can, he's not going anywhere. If we need to go tell people, hey, there's a kid in the church, we found him, we should be fine.
Yeah, we just go to a contact and say that he's there at the church.
I rolled a natural 20 for insight. I'm doing an insight check on this lady to see if she seems legit.
Yeah, she's legit.
She seems legit, you know.
Now, do we believe you?
You know, you can
I
tell this
rolled a
lady
nat
actually wants
20.
to take care of Ingo, but she's kind of sad 'cause she's like, again.
Again?
Then I'm okay with us leaving her here, but if I don't get paid, I'm taking it from one of you.
I mean, we can
You
try.
can say it from her.
Taking it from Warren because he said that she was legit.
Alright. You bunch of crazies, get out of here!
Alright. So let's go up to Radagast?
The Lord Mayor. We'll go check on him.
You really should take notes because I'm starting to get a little miffed.
I have notes, darn it. Where are they all?
Grog wouldn't
Here's
remember
the
these anyway.
I'm just mad at Josh. Because he doesn't take any notes and then he mispronounces everything and he thinks that won't show up at
part of
all
my
and that won't hurt him.
Here it
My
is.
character.
Yeah, okay, but your characters
Lady.
are bad and you feel bad.
Wait, what?
So let's go find Radamir.
As in his house.
Lord Mayor Radamir.
Yeah,
We
that
will
guy.
find him in his house, apparently.
Let's go
He
to the
hasn't
house.
left.
You guys with me? Let's go to the house.
Okay.
If you don't come with me, I'm gonna go anyway. I don't need paid.
We go to the Lord Radmir's house.
Alright, the lady's just sitting there in the church. She's just like, good riddance.
Hey, these are crazy ones. I was like,
Everyone else is just
right
like, she's just like,
shoulders.
they didn't even say anything where they just left. She's like,
Okay. Do you want to play a game on our
I
way?
think we debated amongst ourselves.
What
I
kind
would
of
have
game
felt
could we
vexed.
yeah, but she wasn't part.
Hey again, sorry, we had some more technical difficulties while we were recording this session. So for anyone who saw the original upload of session 6 with the whole redacted theme, I'm afraid that's not going to happen again here. Putting that whole thing together became a far bigger mess than I had anticipated it to be. I kept running into issue after problem after whatever and I couldn't figure out how it was even doing it, let alone how to fix it. What I was originally able to finagle was a miracle in itself, and I can't guarantee I'm going to be able to do that again. Now, that being said, the reason I did the whole redacted thing in the first place is because no one really remembers what happened during these gaps. In this particular instance, I know we left the church and headed up to Ratmir's, but what happened before we met the guard is still a mystery.
No, as you come in, like, one of the guards you saw before was like,
Possibly still
you
working
guys
two
are
days.
back.
But if you ask for it back.
You know,
Say, hello, stranger. As I twirl my mustache.
Oh yeah, he doesn't recognize Grog.
well, shoot. He beat you, though.
So he goes like,
He knows who you are. He's like, you must have been impressed by my own. And he's like, well, seriously, what do you think? He's like, where'd you get the mustache?
it's like we're back here to see Radomir. I just grow it fast.
You got business with
Natural
Radomir? What's happened in the search?
I found, found the Ingo boy. He's over at the church right now.
You found poor Ingo.
Hey, we did. Poor child. But
He's alive.
okay.
Poor in more ways than one. That's a fun joke.
Nah.
He's like, well, the Lord would probably be happy to hear at least one of the kids has been found. Not gonna solve all his problems, though. It's probably a lot of stress. I can pass it on to him if you want.
No, we need to get paid.
We'd like to visit him and see him. Is
Okay.
that cool?
Sure.
Okay.
He goes kind of, and he leads you guys through the mansion so you don't wander off and try to live it again.
May I?
No, because around the corner you see the maid just like, lean. She just is like, you.
Dude, she didn't intimidate me.
I don't trust that maid.
I think she'd keep an eye on
You
you.
know, that's the one thing
She
to
probably
figure
would.
out. Is
Make another roll.
What kind of roll?
This one would be make a wisdom saving throw.
Well, that's a 3.
You are absolutely terrified. This maid is clearly like,
My dice really.
her face is
today.
the scariest thing you've seen so far. At all. Ever.
Welcome to the Afraid of the Maid Club. I'm the president. Okay.
Everyone's a member of the
Okay.
spooky maid club.
You can't escape the maid.
You guys don't even know why you're going. It's hilarious.
Alright.
What's her DC?
Well, it's better than 3.
Well, what is it? Because I just rolled because I want to see if I'm scared.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a, what was it? Wisdom saving
Wisdom
throw?
saving
Yeah,
throw.
wisdom saving
Oh
throw.
yeah, a 15.
Yeah, that's not high enough. So you're terrified too.
Oh, it's not?
It's not.
Yeah, that's
Don't
creepy.
underestimate the maid.
She's a spooky maid. You gotta
she's
respect
really
her,
scary.
or she will scare you.
I really want to know what she rolled.
Yeah, I feel like.
Okay.
You both have the frightened condition, by the way, when coming to her, so
Yeah,
you cannot
that's
approach her,
unnatural.
or you have disadvantage on attacks against her as well.
Wait,
She
what?
probably doesn't know who I am.
No, she doesn't even have the roll. She knows. You act like she cares.
Okay, so are we at Radomir yet?
Yes,
Yeah.
you were right. You guys walk right into the office. Bloop, doors.
Okay, as we walk into his office, no, I'm gonna leave the I was gonna say I was gonna take the mustache off because then I wouldn't get paid. But then I want to keep it on so he doesn't know that it was me that trashed the place.
He doesn't know it was you that trashed the place. He just knows the place was trashed by someone.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad we had this talk, Warren, before we went in, and I'll take the mustache off. just temporarily.
I'm gonna assume the guard either just doesn't care or didn't hear it.
Well, he already knew who I was, so it's not like it's like.
Okay, so we are before Lord Radomir. How's he looking?
He's pretty stressed. Slightly more stressed than last time you saw him.
Rumpled hair.
Oh yeah, the hair's now definitely rumpled. He's also, the hand wringing is like 1 hand wring more per second. He's now hand wringing, instead of wringing like this, he's wringing like this, you know? Just a little faster.
Good news, we found a kid.
Oh, you did?
Not yours though.
Not yours.
It was never his.
Neither of them
was
are
crazy.
mine. You found a child, which, who?
Not Lady
poor one.
Adelindis' child.
Found Ingo.
Between the 5 of us, we can.
That's
explore.
good. You know, his parents will be very pleased that you found their child. Their reward it is about 30 silver. pieces
Per person?
in total. They're
a very poor family.
they've had it out for about a week now, and I can give you the funds now, and they'll just pay me back when there's a good time for it.
I don my mustache and I give the money back. And I say, let them keep the money.
I disagree.
I second that.
But Evil Grog has spoken and gives the money back.
Evil Q doesn't care about evil.
He kind of takes the money back, and then he tries to hand it to the next person
take it.
official. He kind of looks at you and tries to hand it to Warren.
I'm the one with the contract.
What about me?
Everyone has a
Or
contract
the
technically.
criminal
Warren is good.
You have a criminal contact. That's one of the reasons why you think that he actually didn't give it straight to you, because he's worried you won't share. In fact, as he's doing it, he actually just brings the bag back, and he just actually starts divvying it out to you individually, because he just is they will fight and murder each other. His opinion of you.
This is fair. So do we get 5 gold? I can't math.
It's 6 gold.
6
gold each.
6 gold because 5 people were.
I thought it was silver.
Silver, yeah.
Silver? 6 silver.
Warren gives his back.
But I don't want mine, so...
I'll
So
take
10
it.
gold back.
What do you do with it? You give it
I
back?
give it back to Radagast, yeah, because he's Evil Grog now. And Evil Grog represents everything that Grog hates. I actually
Are you
literally
sure this is Evil
I
Grog?
literally just crossed off his chaotic neutral, and now he's chaotic good.
It's evil to just Grog.
It's
Wait, you're.
relative evil, you know?
Okay.
All of the things that Grog hates, like
No, I know.
smashing
Did you
things.
say you were chaotic evil before?
That's chaotic neutral.
Oh, okay.
Now he's chaotic good when he's Evil Grog.
Anyway.
Okay.
All right. And so,
So
you don't
kind.
get any silver, but everyone else gets 6 silver.
I'm good with heritage. I'd rather go for gold
And
anyway.
you see a little tear roll down Grog's face, but that's it.
What about you?
Oh yeah, I took the silver.
Okay.
So
I mean, I'll take their share.
No, we gave it directly back to him.
And he's not distributing it to you. He's like, it's theirs to do with what they want. If they want to give it back, then by all means, they'll give it back.
Okay.
So, while we're here with the mayor guy, I was wondering, so that room that we were in, that we fought the thing, that it ended up shrinking, who all has, what exactly was that room again to start with?
It was a small. It was almost like it was more of a storage room or a kind of
That's what I thought
certain
it was a
cleaning
storage
zone or
room.
things like that. It's not like a place you'd live and sleep in. It's like a place where you'd store your tools and your things that you would use for something, or you'd do some small task like fixing clothes or something. It's just a room for that sort of thing.
But somebody decided to turn it into a sacrificial room.
And I have no idea who.
Do you have any more
You're
information?
trying to roll an insight check on this, man. I mean, just say so if you want to.
I don't remember.
I'll roll an insight. Because somebody in here knows something that they're not saying.
Well, maybe they do.
I got an 8 plus.
Alright.
What's my insight? Yeah, that's only a 9.
Everyone's guilty.
Everyone's guilty.
So
I like that.
if Radomir, do we have any more leads about where the other kid could be since it's been a day? Anything else that's bubbled up to the surface?
Nothing new has really come up that I'm aware of.
We still have the alchemist place.
That's true. We do have the
Well,
alchemist
we didn't
place.
know. We didn't know about that, so that was just you guys.
Just.
You guys learned about that.
Yeah, the key was in the middle of the room, said room, and I was just the first one to snatch it.
And
Oh, that's right.
so he's like, there was my friend Magnus's place. He's not been seen in a while. I don't know
And
what's
how
up
long
with
have
him.
you had them made?
Oh, longer than
Do investigation.
a long time. Why do you ask?
She gives me the heebie-jeebies.
He gives everyone the
As long as we're on the same page here, Radomir, it's good. Okay.
We must ally with this maid. She terrifies me, but she seems like a more powerful ally than they which are against us.
I think
I'm not sure
we're
about
okay.
that.
with that. I mean,
If you really were desperate, you could seek the wise woman of the town.
The wise woman of the town. There's
Is
a
she
wise
strong?
woman.
She's well,
she's strong in wisdom.
she
That's
has
probably
some
better than me.
powers. Lives outside of town, of course. You know,
Oh no.
lives with the more of the strange sort of further up the mountain.
She probably should know something though. It's always the crazy ones that know something. I should know.
I think we should just go to
She's,
the alchemist shop.
Okay.
I would warn you, she's not that weak. She's not someone you want to mess with.
Well, yeah, she's a wise woman.
We never mess with
They're the
anybody.
people with all the powers.
I'd say is my most convincing tell.
Alright, so Warren and just Grog, you guys come with me. We go talk to the wise
Big
woman.
baby eyes.
Nokia, I trust you to keep this one in check.
He's absolutely aware of whatever it is you're doing.
Okay. Let's play I Spy.
Okay, so we're gonna go to the alchemist shop? or
I
the-
want to go check out what this wise woman has to say.
I feel like we should check out the alchemist shop on the way.
I want to go to the
out.
alchemist shop because it's
The
closer.
problem with that, for me, is if you want to, you'd probably be going east instead of west. You don't know where the alchemist shop is anyway. You need to get the, say, boy you were looking for earlier, the courier, to lead you there.
That's true.
So, Radomir kind of does like a head gesture to the guard, and the guard goes like, and he leaves the room, and he comes back with the boy.
Who is never going to get one day out of this 12-day holiday.
He's otherwise he doesn't do anything with him. This is his, and he gets paid for it.
What's his reaction to seeing all of us in a room again?
He just has no he's dead to you.
But
He no
recognize me, right?
longer suffers. You know, let's roll for
I'm
it.
sorry, you have to roll into this.
It's more fun
He
though.
thinks it's a real mustache, but he thinks you're still Grog. He's very confused about the mustache growth, but he figures you're probably some kind of monster anyway, so...
It's hard to be an adventurer that's growing mustaches quickly.
If you say so,
Okay,
Maybe
so
we should go stock up on provisions first,
Can I give him a
actually.
spoon?
give him a spoon?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he, I don't know.
He's dead inside.
Looks, dead inside.
He doesn't understand what you're trying to do with the spoon. He just kind of looks at it like...
There's just a spoon. He's like,
He just accepts that you're gesturing a spoon at him, and he just doesn't understand, and he just does not care that you're offering him a spoon. Because he's just like, you're probably mocking him or trying to intimidate him in some other strange way. And so he's just, by association, just like,
can I intimidate him into taking the spoon?
roll intimidation.
How about we just get on with
Disadvantage,
it?
because he's been intimidated a lot.
a disadvantage because
Oh,
he's dead
boy.
inside.
It's not very intimidating.
Not to him. No.
There would be a 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just like, he's only as intimidated as he was before, which is he reached dead inside and he's staying there.
Okay.
You can
She's
just shove
gonna
the
be-
spoon
can
into
you
his
show
hand,
us?
though.
I guess.
Can you
I
show
guess.
us where the
She's
wise
just gonna
woman
be
is?
sadly
That's the
take it back.
alchemists that we need.
Well,
She didn't make a friend.
okay, guys, we need to huddle up because we have 2 things going on here. We have
We vote.
the
I already
alchemist-
asked him. I'm just not even in the circle. I'm just asking him where the wise woman is.
We have the alchemist and we have the wise woman, and it sounds like half of us want to go one way and half of us want to go another. But last time
There's
we went
5 of
different
us,
ways.
so it can't be an even.
The last time we went 2 different ways, it did not end well.
No,
so,
I did not.
Let us vote.
So I say we vote, and then we'll go whichever way we go.
Wise woman, raise your hand.
Really?
Oh, now you start paying attention? Okay, so we're all voted. We're going to the wise woman. Under protest.
Under protest.
Under,
You know me and you could probably take anything in there.
you never know.
In what? The alchemist thing?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well,
If it was just me, just Grog.
See, but
I think so,
I'm
wouldn't
worried
you?
about the rest of these guys
Because you're evil grog right now?
yeah, I'm worried about other people, okay?
Is that
He
really what
does-
Grog thought was evil, or are you just doing this because it's funny? Because at a certain point, humor is wonderful, but try to play your character the way you
Yeah, Grog
was
protected a bunch of people last time in the cave.
That's true.
He did a lot of protecting.
You guys are confusing Grog by your words. And now,
Just reach
now
up and
he's
tear
less,
off his mustache
now he's less
and say,
committed.
let's go.
He's less so committed to his character than he's been portraying.
Okay.
So we're going off to the ways, woman.
Okay.
Led by the young man.
I'm gonna climb
Okay.
up on Nakia's shoulders and play I Spy.
So he leads you out of town, sort of towards the west. Back kind
I
of the
will
way you
teach you how
came
to
with the
play I
caves. Same path upwards, kind of up in the mountain. Only this time,
Uh-oh,
kind of
hopefully
curves around, and it starts to go down again. And there's a whole bunch of trees that start popping
I might
up,
take the sleep
and you kind of
one
go into
too.
this little like more forested area.
Okay.
And you've sort of entered this forest, and the boy's with you guys, and he's gonna basically try to lead you.
I have.
He seems kind of like nervous.
You learn her?
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Success.
So what are you nervous about, little boy?
Well, this forest isn't exactly tame.
What's not tame about it?
Everything,
Are we talking monsters around?
always.
I
Or
feel
like
you.
the trees are just not quite turned.
Are the monsters scarier than us or less scary?
They're about the same.
Then we should be good guys. Okay.
You should stick with us and we'll go back to town together.
All right. He's like, okay.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll.
Let's see. And you
This
guys
poor
come to a
kid.
fork in the road.
Okay.
There's two paths. There's one that is more well traveled.
Uh-oh.
It's much nicer. And then you have the other one which is kind of not.
And Robert
And it's
Frost
kinda like rocks.
pops out of a bush.
Sorry.
The road less traveled.
Well, one of them, the one that's less like, it's more rocky, a little more overgrown, is kind of like goes up and kind of curves around things. It's more like a deer trail, and then this other one is more like something you'd expect from sort of a forest floor on foot thing.
I
Guys,
mean, I want to take the deer
Kid,
trail.
which one takes us to the crazy lady in the mountains?
No, it
Which one
doesn't
takes us
matter
there
what road you
faster?
take. You always end up at Bogdana's.
Well, I don't want to run into any of these scary monster things,
I do.
so I think we'll take the more traveled. It's safer.
Let's go the more traveled
I
one.
want to.
I've read a poem about this, and I think we should go the other way.
The road less traveled.
As a
Okay.
poet.
It won't matter which
Okay.
one you take.
All right, guys, we gotta vote again.
How about we take an insight
path
to
we
get an
go?
idea?
Take
Just
an insight,
glancing
man.
off hands to see if any of these is posing more of a threat than the other.
Are we all doing inside?
Well,
I'm not.
I
We
was
would
anay.
Up the chances if one of us doesn't make it.
I rolled an
Yeah.
18.
I need to start rolling this dice.
So what is it? It's perception?
No, there's literally insight.
We're looking up
Alphabetical.
insight.
Oh, yeah. 17.
I rolled 18.
You could try a perception check.
So the best is like a 17 or 18.
Sure, okay. Well, they both look kind of odd. They both look very odd to you.
Crappy crap.
I
So
still
you
want to take
kind
the
of roll
road less
insight and
traveled.
you're like, this place is a bit weird.
All right, guys, we're gonna have to vote
It
on
looks
it
more
again.
fun.
Things change when you don't
All in
look at it.
favor? All in favor of going the normal way and not the rocky way? All in favor of going the rocky way?
I like rocks.
He does have advantage in mountains.
Okay,
So
we're going the rocky way.
that
then.
would give him a bonus if that was going to come into play.
Okay, so we start traveling the rocky path.
Kid, you messenger boy, you travel in the middle of the group with me.
That was.
Okay. He goes, oh, all right.
Oh, okay.
Trust me, it's safer here.
He gives you this
We
look
should repurpose this guy for.
that's like, I'd rather be anywhere else. You can tell he's just like, the company you keep is
Mr.
my least
Messenger
favorite
Boy.
people on this
Could
earth.
be this old
Are you
man.
sure it's not me? Because I probably smell a little bit.
That does not bother
I'm
him.
kind of a hobo dude. Okay.
Yeah, but that's
He's
a dwarf.
absolutely happy with Hobo Dude. He is not happy with everyone else.
I think she's fine.
Crazy and
Seemed
the
klepto.
ogre.
Well, the crazy hasn't really offended him yet. But,
It's true. I gave him a gold coin. I would think we would be friends.
No, he's all right.
Yeah, you're chill.
Like,
Yeah.
you two are cool, but and everyone else is weird and scary.
I'm
And I think he just
scary?
doesn't
I thought I was
knock
just
you.
weird.
I'm
He
just
doesn't know
saying I'm
Nokia
pretty
because
tall.
Nokia is huge and
weird and
strange.
scary.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Weird and scary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
so we travel into the spooky dark part of the floor.
All right.
That was
Yes.
the Rocky.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, the Rocky.
It's also spooky.
The spooky
It
Rocky.
doesn't matter where you go, it's going to be spooky as a forest. There are no normal forests in any game. Interesting. All right.
We're dead.
Not yet.
Close enough.
So you go through this winding path, kind of comes up, and then it dips and kind of has this sort of curve to it.
Whoa.
And you go right next to this river, kind of that comes out through the rocks. It's like been going down the mountain and kind of falling through and comes out of some of the rocks and keeps going. And you kind of follow along this river for a ways. But the path actually flattens out for a bit, and then it takes a sharp right. And ahead of you is just forest, and then this road just right turns and goes like this long way that looks like it's going to curve around.
Are you trying to say that it's doubling in such a way that we should be back on the original path we were on, but it's not?
I'm still just playing I Spy.
It's just crazy. But
I see a weird tree.
the point is, it
I see a rock.
has a really sharp right angle curve of the path.
So, hey kid.
Gurog asks the kid something about the different paths, and the kid is just so done with talking with all of us. Then Warren investigates the paths, and we all choose to go down one. The DM describes something about the path that apparently unnerves Warren, as he says that he regrets his choice immediately. I think it had something to do with darkness and spooky eyes.
Yay!
I regret
Surprise.
this.
And,
Immediately.
goes with dark vision, which is
Me! I have
Grog
dark
and
vision.
Q, I think.
Yeah! I have dark vision.
Dark vision.
Nope. Most people don't.
Here, I got you, fam.
Okay.
I'll be your eyes.
You guys can see sort of alright, but it is getting harder to see for you.
Q
Which
did.
would
me?
suggest things, yes.
Q
You
did
see-
steal a
You're
torch.
still having trouble seeing, but you can see better than perhaps your companions. And as you do, you start to hear noises.
Cool.
Wonderful, fun noises that you can't identify unless you want to really spend a lot of time trying to listen.
Ain't no thing.
Can I...
I'm lighting a
Wait,
torch.
can I... What, a perception check?
shrieking eels.
For investigation? Can I roll something to figure out what the sounds and or...
Absolutely, you can roll investigation.
Okay. It'll probably suck. Yeah, that's crit fail.
You hear all sorts of things, you know, just all sorts of horrid, like, screams and shrieks. But then you also hear this whisper in your ear that's like, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm kind of bored. I'm playing I Spy.
I know you're playing I Spy with me.
I can just look around like, who are you talking to?
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I borrowed your gold.
My gold?
Your voice. That's what you hear the voice say.
That's the words I'm hearing, right?
Oh, yeah, you're definitely hearing those.
Okay,
At least as far as you know. I mean,
I say we forge ahead into the forest.
Okay.
The cow. Start walking down the forest.
I'm going. I mean,
We must go deeper.
all right.
It's
You
the
lit a
thing.
torch, right?
It's the same.
You're in front.
no, I'm in the middle. You want to borrow the torch in the front? You're fine.
Well, I mean, I don't
Right,
need it.
some vision, but surprisingly enough, doesn't go forever. In fact, it blocks off pretty sharply after about 30 feet. And so does your dark vision start to
Cool.
stop there.
Let's go in.
I mean, we're still going.
Okay.
Yeah.
We continue
I Spy.
deeper into the forest.
I spy a
And
big
as you
black
do-
wall.
Insert something about a bridge.
That eventually crosses the river you've seen and been going next to.
Okay.
It's kind of come back around this path. And small bridge, or this other path that goes alongside it again. One of them has, you know, say perhaps a couple of cairns next to it, and the other one has, you know, just nothing. It's just more deer trail.
Can I roll an intelligence check to see what a cairn is?
It's a pile of rocks.
I don't know what a cairn is.
Everyone knows.
I wish I didn't know that until now, so that's good to know.
You sure?
So
I had no idea.
I roll a 21 perception check, peering down both these paths. Anything?
21, huh? You see that there's a whole bunch of like interesting fungal growth over the path across the bridge. You know, mushrooms and things of a kind of interesting nature. And then you see on the other path that's sort of more of the
Which
deer
one
trail.
has the cairn?
The one
the
across
mushroom
the
path.
bridge. Oh, wait, which one?
The mushroom path has
Has
the
the
cairn.
bridge? Okay,
bridge
that's what I thought.
past Cairns.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Kansas stack over.
I mean-
And then the other path, the deer path.
The deer path has, you know, a couple kind of glowing eyes peek out, and then they kind of hide again.
Hey guys, let's go.
Let's
I
go
wanna
through
cross the
the
bridge.
cairn.
Let's go across the bridge.
Cairn is always the better idea.
There are eyes down in that path.
I like water.
There are eyes down that path.
Yeah, I saw some eyes peek out at us.
Can I
don't-
ask
sure.
the voice?
You can absolutely try. What would you ask the voice?
Would you pick path 1 or path 2?
Actually, did you tell me about the voice?
Not yet. You're just hearing me talk to someone.
I would cast a spell to talk to the
You
voice.
most likely think that she's talking to you.
And she thinks I'm crazy.
Nothing really responds to you directly. You know, the wind kind of is like, every now and then there's like little whispers on the wind, and then there's like, you know, all the noises of things kind of in a really dark forest that you can't hear.
Okay.
My character will probably say, nah, I have no preference. I ain't turn the voice on.
Alright, we'll avoid the eyes. Let's go across the bridge.
All right.
So as we're passing by the mushrooms, I pick one and I turn to Q and I'm like, hey Q, test this and see if it's poisonous.
You want me to eat it?
Actually,
Wait.
roll a dex save.
Mushrooms are never good in D&D.
Why would you need to dodge the mushroom?
No, maybe like touching it.
Poison
Maybe
spores.
Poison. I don't know.
That's a 16
Maybe it's like a spore that
plus
shoots out
my
the
dex
mushroom
saving
stuff.
score, so that's 20.
20?
Yeah.
You dodge right out of the way. There is an entire bunch of spores as the entire cap of a mushroom just launches off. And what's left behind is this sort of blown open shoot from the mushroom that you almost touched.
Oh boy, okay.
But you know,
well,
I'm not gonna eat that.
No, I think we're definitely gonna be avoiding the mushrooms on this path.
Warren rolls
Say that.
Warren rolls a 20 nature check to peer at the mushroom in bafflement. Does he know
A
anything?
nat 20 or a...
No, just a...
Yeah, 20. You'd probably recognize this sort of style of mushroom. They're not actually the most uncommon kinds. This is a bit more aggressive than most that you've probably seen or encountered. But they are kind of just hard-headed mushrooms, essentially, that explode off when things are near because, well, they reproduce on dead things. So, you know,
They try to kill him.
if things are killed, or they just explode when things are moving by or touching them because that means stuff's around to spread spores on so that spores can land somewhere else.
It's mating season for the mushrooms.
Oh, it's already been mating season. This is how they like spread their babies around.
Don't touch those.
So,
The next
can we continue
wave.
down the path?
Absolutely. As you go, there's a bunch more mushrooms along the sides. You know, several of them look the same.
So I spy.
You pass one that's sort of like a large, kind of, almost massive mushroom. This one's a lot different shaped. It's more like the kind of the oyster, the Oregon ones that kind of like go in stacks and kind of come off the edge of a tree. And this one's really large, and it's really close to the path.
It's really close to the path.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, you could literally touch it as you walk by.
Can I like
Hey,
grab
Warren,
some
you should
sticks and
shoot
pee
an
on it
arrow
with
at
a
it.
drum?
That's what I was thinking too. Uh-oh. Okay.
She's shooting it.
5 to shoot. It is like a stationary object, right?
Yeah, you get it. You get a
Shooting an arrow.
advantage to hit because it's really hard to miss.
Oh, okay. Darn it, that was even worse. So a 5. My first roll.
You do miss, and then kind of nails the tree next to it.
Isn't that close enough?
Ooh, are we throwing things? And I can't throw it.
Roll the hits.
Roll to hit, man.
And since it's thrown, it's dex. That's your modifier.
Oh. I have an 11.
That was the best.
Yeah, he kind of scrapes the edge of it, and the mushrooms just kind of like wiggles a bit.
Wiggles a bit, huh?
Yeah, because you hit it with a knife.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks kind of normal for that.
Greg is just excited to participate.
And I'm also gonna like find a stick on the ground, break it in half, and then beat on it like a drum.
Before he does this, I notch another arrow, pull it back, and then pull off a critical fail. So I let go of the bow and smacks me in the face. Oh my nose!
Hey,
I literally did just roll a critical fail.
Oh goodness.
Alright.
And this messenger boy is just like, y'all are weird.
We just like randomly see, look, a mushroom with a mushroom throwing.
Alright, well, as you go to hit on the mushroom, give me a Constitution saving
We're
throw.
not
those
with
are my
him.
Do I have to as well?
We're not with him.
Everyone who went up close to it has to roll.
I am on his head.
I'm
You
not
have to
close
roll.
to it.
That would be a 13.
Constitution? That's 7.
So basically, you hit it, it sends out this massive shriek that's basically ear-piercing and just absolutely shakes everything around you. Leaves fall from trees and stuff. And, well, let me give you a roll.
And now you are deaf.
Holy cow. Yeah, so you take 3 points of, well, I guess, sonic damage.
That was a really loud drum.
And you, since you resisted it, it's halved, and you take 2 because I rolled 4, and it's great. Where you just gave off this massive ear-breaking shriek. Feels like your ears are bleeding if you took damage. Not necessarily fun for anyone
Man,
involved.
But we don't touch
You
it.
can, if you can hammer on it, I think we can pass it without a problem.
One at a time, people.
Raise your hand if you wish to speak.
We should just have the conch that we pass it around.
I know, right? I got the conch. Shush. Okay,
It's
speak.
the magic conch shell.
You know, in Lord of the Flies, that didn't help too much.
No, it didn't, unfortunately.
Speak hither, Grog. He's just raising his hand. He's not saying anything.
No, yeah, he just,
I'm gonna try. So did Nakia actually manage to strike the mushroom?
I mean, he was striking
Yeah.
it.
Alright, so arrow's not
I
gonna do
think it's
anything.
fine if we pass it.
It's size of it. I mean, it's been hit by a stick.
Grog votes to leave the shrieking mushroom itself.
Hey, and I
agree.
vote we don't touch any more mushrooms on the way. Let's just get out of here.
We're becoming so much wiser.
It's like you don't even need the
I'm not sure that we're
person.
safe to walk past it though.
I mean,
Guys, we're discovering that we're the wise women all along.
the only
It
thing
was the real wise woman.
the only thing is to pass it, right? And see what happens.
I'll pass it. That's fine.
Okay.
I pass it, but I like sitting on your shoulders.
Am I too tall to pass it?
No, you can easily walk around it if you're trying to avoid it.
So nothing happens to any of the people going around it?
Let's go around it.
Yeah, no, you guys all walk around just fine.
Okay.
It's almost like as if you attacked it. That's what triggered the damage.
Wow.
I blame that.
I just think of like the Ace Ventura when he's beating on the mushrooms.
Oh dear.
Okay, so
On
we
the
continue
way.
deeper. We must go deeper. The car.
Alright, you keep going deeper. Up ahead, you see some strange lights as the path kind of merges with another path that probably was the other path that you could have taken.
Yeah, that's fun.
So this is a fun adventure. It's probably worth it.
Totally.
Oh, it's
Guys, I
totally
say we
worth
go
it.
down the path. We go the other way that we could have came down.
So you want to go back? Anyway,
We'll go back down that way.
but you also do see a sign up ahead that's just kind of Bogdana's.
What's
Just written on a sign.
What's the sign written in?
Blood.
I meant like what language?
It's literally common.
Oh. Okay, good.
It's literally common.
Okay.
So I rolled a 19 perception check. Can I tell what the lights are?
Yeah, you can tell exactly what those are. They're sort of floating, kind of small fires. Just floaty small fires.
Floating fires.
Fireflies?
Probably
Will-o-wisps, maybe?
will-o-wisps. We are in a bog after all.
Yeah, as you notice, I mean, the path where the river went is now getting more reedy and marshy as well.
looking at these things, do they feel like a threat?
Nah.
It depends on what you feel.
I mean, we're taking too much time analyzing things we don't need to analyze.
Yeah,
Let's just go to this
let's
lady's
just go
house.
to the
We
path.
continue down the path.
Okay. Candlelights just sort of avoid you. Just hang out on the edge of your vision.
Alright, I like this
interesting.
music. I'm so calm and relaxed right now.
Yeah.
Let's hit all
Alright,
of the
and then
traps.
up ahead you see
'Cause that's
a
more
hut show up.
That's our stuff.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna go first before any of these crazies can do anything. Especially I'm looking at this guy right here. I don't want him smashing nothing to get us all in trouble.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was the only one who smashed today.
With
That's
his
right.
mustache.
Used to. So I'll go up and I'll just knock on the door.
Alright, you go up and you knock on this kind of wooden door that's just in this hut. Alright. And as you do, you hear this old sort of voice just kind of like, come in.
Okay. I'll just
Can I make a perception check around the house just cause to see anything shiny?
Sure.
Cool.
Make you roll.
Oh, now I roll good. That's probably gonna be nothing. 21.
Yeah, okay. You see, kind of on some of the things around it, there's some pans hanging from like one of the roofs and kind of a side. I guess they were out to dry.
The pans were out to dry.
Yeah, people do that actually. It's kind of weird. And there's some stuff, but it seems very, just normal living stuff.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and walk in. Is there maybe a chair I can sit down on or
As you enter the building, and I assume people are going to follow her,
Yeah.
so that I can describe to everybody.
I mean, if you're following, then I'm
You
not
enter
gonna-
this kind of large, almost
Probably couldn't even fit through the door.
squarish
I mean,
living
you
room.
probably
It's
can't even fit through the
uneven.
door.
It's exactly square, and it's kind of awkward in a way. It's a little bit like a rhombusy shape. But the idea is there's
Question.
chairs, but they're never the same type, and one of these chairs has a different leg on it that's not supposed to be on it.
I like this.
Can
house
Nakia
already.
fit through the door?
Can I? Oh yeah, he walks
Can
right in
Nakia fit through the door with me on his shoulders?
if he crouches.
Okay.
When he crouch,
I'll start out not crouching and then hear like a little
Ow!
and then crouch.
oh dear. Alright, and as you guys go in, you see kind of this old crone sitting on a chair. This one's a bit of another odd chair too. There's like 7 different chair legs to it. And she's sitting like kind of on the back of the chair, like the back broke. And so she's kind of leaning sideways on it like this. And she's just like, she's got like a little sort of needle and thread and this cloth, and she's just like, hello.
So
Hello,
Grog,
can I call you grandma? You look like my grandma.
I'm called a lot of things, dearie. A lot of things.
so Grog, knowing that
which
this
one
is
of
the
those?
festival of new romances, waltzes up to her and applies his best charm and says, "Hey, how you doing?" With his mustache.
I'm a bit old for you. Maybe not the same millennia. But she gives a cackle anyway. She's just like. After that, because she's just amused. You thoroughly tickled her funny bone.
You also tickled mine.
May I take a perception roll in the room?
Absolutely, you wanna.
You want to steal a chair with 7 legs? Carry it back to the
10.
woods?
10%.
That's just a 10.
I don't want to say anything out of the usual, but as you take time to look around, you do see that some of the windows are on the walls. None of them are the same shape. It seems like she really hates symmetry, and you can also see that on some of the walls there's like maybe a painting or two. They're actually normal paintings. It's hilarious. None of them are really like strange or uneasy. They're just regular paintings of like, here's a landscape and here's a portrait of some people, and they're all normal and boring.
So can we ask her questions?
Well, that's what we're here for. I'm gonna go ahead and just take a seat next to her, I guess. And,
Well, asking you questions. Nobody comes here just to chat. There's not anymore.
I'm sorry.
May I have one of the paintings?
She kind of looks for a moment. She's like, which one would you like?
Now you have to describe the paintings.
All right, there's
She's
about
gonna
7
slither
paintings.
down, knock your shoulders, and look around.
There's about 7 paintings. You know, there's a portrait of people. There's a landscape of sort of a wheat field and an absolutely normal sort of house. You know, there's a painting of a knight and a dragon fighting, you know, in like a classic, you know, heroic pose. There's a painting of, you know, some like procession of people through the town. It's normal. It's like something you would see at a festival. You know, anything of that catch your mind?
Not out of those 4.
Alright. They're all really boring, by the way.
Okay,
So-
well, I want to take the one with the, or point to the one with the wheat field and be like, can I have that one?
She goes, come on down. And the painting just like crawls off the wall. Like these little like wooden parts of the framing just kind of reach down like spider legs and kind of like crawl it down. And it slithers onto the floor and then kind of like lays flat. And she's like, go on ahead, you can have it.
Cool!
I'm thoroughly amazed.
So I can
by
take
this.
it?
Seeing this,
Absolutely, you take it.
Grog asks if she's ever heard of paintings of ugly dwarves.
Painting of a wheat field.
Have you ever seen a painting of an ugly dwarf by chance?
Oh, you've seen my sister's artwork.
In Lord Radimir's palace.
Is your sister the maid?
So prolific.
Is she the maid over there at the Radimir's palace?
She's a lot of things, but I don't think she's the maid. I think you're talking about my niece.
She gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Oh, she does that.
While they're talking, is there like a table near this lady?
You know, there is. It's sort of a side table, and it's kind of like circular, except for there's like a notch out of it that's like kind of like a cheese wedge shape. But it doesn't look like someone did that intentionally. It looks like that was just part of the wood, and then they just tried to make a circular table out of something that wasn't circular.
Like, Warren sits down at the table and spreads out one of his day rations, so at least, like, we're having a nice lunch instead of just coming to badger her with
Oh,
questions.
she's like, oh, it's just so out of the way. She just reaches over with a hand, picks up the table, and then she reaches out and her arm like stretches for like 5 feet, and then she just puts the
this
table in the
woman?
middle. And she's just like, so better.
Much better.
She doesn't even say it right. She's absolutely just
So
butchering the
better.
language just because she enjoys it. And
So
she's
I love this woman.
just wonderful.
Who
So-
loves this woman already?
we're looking for these kids. Do you know what's going on with kids missing?
We're down, sis. We're down.
Nobody knows what's going on with children.
So
Fair.
we found a bunch of cultists.
Isn't that right? And she says, and like you see a couple like perfectly like normal looking children just pop in there like, children are weird.
They agree with her?
Yes.
Oh yes, there's actually like, you see just out of this other door there was like 3 or 4 just popped in and they're just like, people are weird, children are weird. And they'll speak sort of similarly, but they're not exactly the same. It's just dissonant enough not to be creepy, but it's so close.
Who are they?
Oh, those are my daughters.
Oh, that's cool.
They're very
All
lovely.
4 of them, unfortunately identical.
Warren starts getting out another day of rationing.
Oh, you don't need to feed them. They definitely need them. They never stop, really.
Children.
So,
Well, anyway, questions.
kind of curious, you know. I don't know if you know about any of the stuff that's been going on in the town with the murders and the.
Oh, I know a lot of things about the town. And there's a whole lot of murders going on. It's very sad.
Aye, it is.
We got trapped in a basement full of dead people.
Yeah, that was terrifying.
What are Tuesdays for?
I mean, fair.
He shifts over and the chair actually breaks. There's a crack. And the chair now leans the other way, and she's leaning the other way too, but it seems to support her as well.
I love this woman.
I know it,
What
right?
kind of magic do you do? I wish my magic
Oh, this
was.
and that. Mostly of the fun kind.
I wish I could do fun magic. My
Fun magic
magic
was
just.
All
so
magic's fun. It's just a matter of how.
I want to learn magic.
Yes, we know.
She's like, my magic is something that unfortunately you can't learn. You have to be born to it.
Aye.
I was born to my magic, but I guess you can't teach me.
Well, not an easy way. You'd probably regret it.
So
We really are looking for this little kid who's gone missing.
Ah, yes, you're looking for Hugh.
what do you want to know about him?
I know a lot about Hugh. He used to visit quite a lot. Good kid.
Who, you?
Would you be willing to help us find him?
She took a small pillow and she throws it at you, but it's like really, it's like just a pillow. It just hits you and just falls over. She's so like, she's so just amused at you.
Oh, Hugh.
Would you be willing to help us find Hugh?
Absolutely. But I mean, that depends on what you want to know.
Where is he?
Yeah, we're having a bit of trouble locating him. Do you happen to know where he could be?
Oh, I know exactly where he is. He's deeper.
What does...
We went deeper.
She kind of like looks at you and she makes eye contact, and she just kind of like, she knows, but you're also not sure why she would say anything.
Grog's like, the call? Like it's a question.
And she kind of just sort of cackles to herself. It's sort of a gentle cackle. Just like a...
So we tried going deeper in the caves.
Oh, you didn't go all the way deeper. You need to go in the liquid, not always just, in the cave.
I thought the liquid was bad.
The liquid's terrible.
Can you help us get through it?
Yeah, how do we get through? So when you say we need to go in the liquid, is it just walk in the liquid, or is there...
Well, the liquid would probably kill you.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured.
Well, where the liquid goes is where you want to go.
So we need to remove the liquid.
I don't know if that's really the most logical decision. But who would I to judge? And she just sort of like... just gives you just a kind of smile. You also notice that two of her teeth are kind of off. In fact, both her canines are on one side, and then her incisors are on the other. So it's actually like kind of this toothy thing. But then this is like normal. And you're just like,
I love it.
You seem pretty powerful. Could you get rid of the liquid for us?
I don't really want to, though.
Well,
that liquid's there for a reason, isn't it?
We can make it worth your while, and I'll like do the...
Oh my god.
But
She's like,
what is she going to
she
do?
just reaches out and does the arm thing again, only this time it like snakes, and it's like sort of like boneless, like serpentines across the room, and then picks up the coin and she just sort of like, just plays with the coin a bit, and then she just gives it back, and she's like, oh, you're so much fun.
I don't need to do that.
I don't think money is going to be...
Do you have any advice or suggestion on how to get through said liquid without dying?
Well, first you need to be able to breathe in water, wouldn't you?
Can we get that at the alchemist
or
place?
anything. I don't really know everything in the alchemist's place. I assume you're talking about Magnus. He didn't really enjoy my house.
Oh, that's a sad thing to hear.
It's alright. Not everyone can appreciate true art.
I know, right?
And she just kind of like stares off at like a window.
So you're saying
It's a beautiful window.
So you're saying
I love this house.
So you're saying Magnus could help us, but you can't.
I didn't say that.
No. She just doesn't want to.
Rude. And she just is just like...
Rude.
Because you know the
She
next...
just puts her hand in front of her face and just like...
Because you know the next place we're going is going to be Magnus if you don't help us out. Like my biggest like dough
What did you want me to tell you?
I think she's helped us out plenty. I mean, we know where we need to go. We just have to figure out how to get through the stuff.
You haven't exactly asked how to get anywhere, how to get to you, You have so many questions you could have asked so far.
Well, you did
I
say,
thought that I did ask that.
Yeah, you said that he's deeper and we
You
need to
asked
go.
where he was and how to get there, and I told you at least the most direct route.
Yes, so we asked how to get there, and you just said we didn't ask how to
Well,
get
are
there.
there any other paths?
Details.
Are there other paths then?
There's a lot of paths to go deeper. The question you really want to know is which one won't kill you.
This is
Well,
a good
yes,
point.
yes, that is actually the question.
This is a very
Which
good
path
point.
to Hugh will not kill us?
Well, I don't know all the future. She kind of like reaches over and just sort of like slaps kind of this like plant that was like starting to like claw at somebody from behind. And she's just like, not today.
Not today.
Okay, so I grabbed the kid that's with us.
Just and I say, look at this poor child. We need a way to get to Hugh that this kid could survive.
Oh. She's like, it's you again, and she kind of pats him on the head, and then she like springs, like she just reaches through like one of the windows. She just like shoves her hand out the glass, it like breaks, and she grabs something and then just brings in like, you know, a small little like cookie.
Aww.
And she gives him a cookie and kind of pats him on the head again, and he's just happy to have a cookie.
You want a cookie?
But this
Oh,
poor...
you do? And she reaches behind your ear and pulls one out.
I wish I had that good sleight of hand. Oh, I can't wait till I get new hands.
So this poor child who now has a cookie will die if we don't have an easy way to get into where Hugh is.
Stop teasing me. She's like, I know a little bit more than that. I wasn't born yesterday.
Alright.
Although, I mean, if you count a couple thousand years, who does that?
Nah.
I do have one question that I'm asking. When you say to go through a pool of liquid, are you talking about the oil that we found at the bottom of the cave?
That oil.
Is that what you're referring to?
Oh yes,
Specifically?
definitely that. What other strange, terrible liquid would you go through, really?
Just
Well, I think
checking
it's
in
water.
case it was the well or something.
Water.
It's a
Maybe
bit
strange
mixed,
and terrible.
actually, you know. It's not all oil, and it's not all water. That's the problem.
It's impure.
This is
Definitely.
impure.
Okay, so if
What
we...
happens if we touch the oil?
Oh, well,
Bad things.
Bad things.
you'll see things you probably don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I got clawed at one point.
Oh yeah, you did.
Do you know?
Oh yeah, you did.
There's a vile force at work, you know. That oil is definitely part of, you know, drawn to the power, so, you know.
Yeah, we don't...
You know how those evil powers are. They always have some gimmick.
Oh, I know, right? You know, there's gotta be something involved with it.
It's always something in the water, isn't
Always something, you know. That's why they tell you not to drink the water.
it? Unless it's in the well,
That's
in the
true.
center of town.
You know.
That's the good water.
See through.
Not the new one, the old one, mind you. The new one's not as great.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen the old well.
Yeah, where's the old well?
Oh, you've been to it. It's in front of Radimir's mansion.
Yeah, that's
and I
the
know
one.
you've talked to him.
That's the one she threw a rock at that well.
I did.
She did she? Oh no. That
They
poor
didn't like
rock.
that.
So
But she doesn't say anything on that. She just kind of looks sad for a minute.
we have to find a way
Well,
to help this poor innocent child not die. So what's the quickest way to Magnus's house? Because it sounds like he'll help us.
Magnus is missing.
Yeah.
No?
I don't know.
Magnus's workshop, you already have someone to guide you. She pats the boy's head again, and he's just like, someone respects me.
He's sitting there eating, nibbling his
Yeah,
cookie with the
you know, she even like, while you guys have been talking, she's actually pulled up a seat for him. It's like a small stool. It's not like as cool as some of the other stools, but it's like a simple stool that's regular, normal, and you can tell this boy was really happy to have a regular stool.
Okay,
So
so
he's just gonna sit there.
Magnus and all whatnot aside, you said there's more than one path to get down there. Are the paths in the cave, or are they located elsewhere?
Well, the paths you'll want to take, the ones that won't kill you.
Yes.
Well, it's all always a bit iffy. You never know with these things, but there's always the old temple.
the old temple.
Where's the old temple?
The same one where we.
That's a church.
No, this is much, much older. I was just a young, well, whatever I am, really. Everyone knows I'm a hag, but
Oh no,
I think you
there's
are
something
beautiful.
you are
else.
far too beautiful to be a hag.
Hags are the most beautiful of all. You do notice she does have several warts and things, and she has like kind of wrinkles in odd places, but she's absolutely fine with that.
You think who would care?
I don't know.
We're noticing things.
I'm just letting you guys know what she looks like. You know, you do also notice she has 6 fingers on her left side and 7 on her right. Yes. But you notice the 2 of the ones on the right are actually almost vestigial and barely noticeable. And you wouldn't have noticed unless you had been incredibly awkward and stared at them.
All right, during this
Anne Boleyn on one hand and Kuhlain on the other.
Twins.
During this conversation, Gar's growing increasingly nervous. And he rips his mustache off and he's like, I can't maintain this lie anymore. You're too nice. I can't mislead you anymore.
Oh no, an imposter. She brings up a fan, you know, just fans herself. She's just like, betrayal.
Like, I feel like I need to be honest with you here.
Can't trust anyone these days. Not the mustache.
Especially not
for sure.
My name is really Grog.
I would never have
Rose is
guessed.
Grog. Yeah.
What was your name? Or did you already tell us?
I'm Bogdana.
Yeah, it was on the sign up there.
Oh, it
I'm
was?
Dana, the bog.
I love it.
I made the bog, you know.
It's a very beautiful bug.
Thank you. I've worked so hard.
I can tell.
Did you make the mushrooms too?
No, those are foreign. But I like them so much. They bring so much life to the neighborhood.
What would you do if somebody hit the mushrooms?
Nothing.
Okay.
Not really.
Just checking.
So I hit the mushrooms.
Well, the mushrooms will be
Didn't feel
fine. They'll grow back.
It didn't feel good though.
Well, you know, hitting things rarely feels good for anyone.
So okay, let's
Unless it's
get back.
wrong.
Let's get back on track though. We've got the temple, the old temple. You were telling us where it is.
Absolutely. It's up past the graveyard. You know, the graveyard's up there on the hills past the empty houses. I know you've been there. They're so much fun.
The graveyard or the empty houses?
Well, the empty houses, this is above the empty houses. Farther
Ooh, are there
north.
more dead people that come alive?
There's always undead, dear. We're all undead, really, aren't we? After all, none of us are dead here. At least I think so. She glares, and one of her kids just, like, hides. She's like, you'd better stay that way.
Okay.
And the old temple's up just past the graveyard.
Cool.
It's very difficult to miss. It was quite large.
Can this little kid take us there?
She's like, oh please, anyone could take you there. It's so large. But he could easily do that as well. He's quite a bright child. I bet.
No, really quickly, Warren says, like, listen, Hugh was a good kid. He liked you and he liked to hang out with you.
Oh yes. He
So,
wrote the most interesting stories. Who ever wrote about spiders coming from the nose? Such a strange one.
so his life is in your hands. What
Oh, I
can
don't
you say
think so.
to help us?
His life's in his own hands, just like all of ours is. It's just a
Wait,
matter
is
of
he
how
still
we take
alive?
it.
She has helped us
Of
immensely.
course he
She told
is.
us
I
where
can
we
tell
need to
you
go.
that. He's still alive. He's fine.
Oh, he's fine?
Now.
Oh,
For now, yeah, we gotta go
I
find
don't
him.
know everything. I just know all
So,
the
is there-
unimportant
told us-
things.
Before we head out, is there anything you can give us or tell us that would help us?
is there anything you can give us?
Yeah, what should we...
What can I give you that you don't already have? Besides from a mustache.
And that one painting.
She reaches out, she's like, can I have this? Picks up the fake mustache.
I was like, it was meant for you.
She's like, how wonderful. She puts it on her head and like kind of pulls it and it kind of like stretches into sort of a wig. And she's like, perfect.
Okay, you look lovely. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I think the best thing you could give us is your gift of wisdom in this temple that we're going to be exploring, and just kind of let us know what should we be watching out for, because I know these buildings and things have always got something, tricky in there.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
After all, this temple, oh boy, it's had a real doozy of a history.
Oh, man.
Back from the old days, things weren't always so much fun back then, or at least not the kind of fun I would share in present company.
Oh, I'll bet, yes.
Would you let us
So-
borrow one of your children and we could pretend like they're the person that's missing?
Oh dear, my daughters?
I'd
We
say
could
no.
dress them up.
Oh dear, you don't want to bring them with you. They'll probably kill you. She laughs at that, but it's hard to tell if she was joking.
Okay.
So as
You
we're
can't let them out of your sight. They do terrible things when you don't discipline them. Eat babies, all the horrible things.
Oh
really.
yeah, no, we definitely. I think they're best left in your care. So what?
Unfortunately, they're just not old enough yet. One of them's just kind of pouting at that though.
Okay.
The tallest daughter is just like,
Okay.
Okay. There was a thought that's been trying to be finished for like 5 attempts.
Great. So what should we be on the lookout for in this temple? Just
dangerous murder traps, of course.
of course.
I'm
Yeah.
down for that.
Like the one I have in the next room.
Which room?
That one. There's a door that's just like, just a door. But every now and then, the door, swings in a bit, and then there's just, it closes immediately. And then it just swings in a minute and closes immediately, but it's, so silent that you couldn't tell. She's like, that door just always opens up. It wants people to come in so bad and see its traps, but I just won't let it.
It really wants me to go in.
So,
Thank you,
I
Bogdana.
kind of want to investigate it just because.
Okay,
not
so
do
we'll check out.
Not like go in, but.
We'll go check out this temple with a history, and we'll definitely be on the lookout for murder traps.
yeah, I grabbed Hugh and we started dragging away from the door. And out the door.
Thank you very much, Bogdana.
It's been good.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah?
don't play with red spiders.
Okay.
Good
Good to know.
Good advice.
I will remember that.
Unless they're friendly.
Of course.
How do we know if they're friendly?
Talk to them.
Well, talking, so old-fashioned. No, you can just give them a nice pat on the head. I'm sure that'll work.
Okay.
Pats always work. She pats the boy again. And kind of sends him out the door.
And Scrub is like, okay, I'll pat the heads.
And as you go out the door, you guys sort of fall onto the ground because you came out upside down.
What?
We
You
can.
came out the door upside down.
In reality, swished it upside down and then walked out.
I love this.
Ow!
I want to go back.
She's like, it shouldn't take you very long to get out, though. It's always easier to leave than it is to come back.
I'll bet. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It's like the,
We'll have to come back
Lost
again.
Woods.
I have left
Cookies
my-
and things.
It's like the Lost Woods on steroids, man.
I love
You
it.
take one round turn and you're back
And
at
so
the
you
beginning.
guys gonna head out? Just
I have-
gonna head back?
I have
I wanna
left
go to
behind
the
my food as an
alchemist shop.
offering.
I think we should definitely stop by the
I have left
alchemist
behind my
shop.
mustache.
She takes it graciously. It's like, thank you.
I think before we hit the alchemist shop, we should probably stock up on supplies.
What kind of?
And
We're going to need.
we're gonna need like
potions.
potions and torches and other things.
Did you get that
on
kind of
that
stuff
note,
at the alchemist shop?
I'm
Or was I
gonna.
not
if
listening?
It's his laboratory. I don't think it's a
I don't
shop.
think you
shop.
buy stuff there, and the guy who's there has been missing for a
I
while.
thought you said it was a shop, but
Well, it was a
I'm
shop at
gonna,
some point, but it's not necessarily a place you buy
talk and
potions
be like,
at.
by the way, this is yours, and give you back your torch.
Okay,
Thank you.
we must
starting
hasten
to
to the
mend
alchemist
the
shop where there is little time.
So as you leave this forest kind of area, as you leave like her hut, you actually just walk past some trees, and there's a turn, and suddenly, boom, you see the town.
Yay!
From there, you see the exit. It's almost immediate.
Oh, that's fun.
It's like you walked 5 feet.
Nah.
Traveling in style.
Alright, so let's go find like an actual shop and get some supplies before we go and kill ourselves.
Alright, we're looking for the shop.
Young messenger boy, we're looking for a place to buy potions.
Oh yeah, it's just down by, the inn. He's like, you've been staying at the inn for a while. It's just down that road. I'll take you right there. And he does. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And you guys can go. There's sort of a general store of sorts. They sell most things easily available. There's some minor medical aids. Maybe not a whole bunch of potions or anything, but there's some valuable things there, and you can kind of peruse what they would have.
Are you gonna let me go into the store?
That's real push her into the
That's
store.
the real
Like
question. Wait, what? Push me out of the
I
store?
was just gonna say, I've been dragging you this whole way, and I'm just gonna like put you in the store and then just like
Put me in the store?
and then close the door.
Tactical coup incoming.
Wait, you're putting me into the store?
Like a bomb. Like I just like put you in and then just like close the door and then step away slowly.
What store are we at? I was not
Just
listening at all.
some general store.
Oh, a general store. Do we buy general
Can I
weapons there?
try
Oh
and
yes,
pilfer something?
absolutely. You could try. So as you go in, there's sort of, pretty classic. You have sort of a counter. You have sort of the displayed wares sort of on the walls, but it's pretty obvious they can see you wherever you are in the room, as is the point. And it's got sort of just a general everything. Some daggers. There's even some swords. They're not like the most rich swords, but they're swords. And there's a spear or two with them. There's some shields. There's some potions. It's actually just quite an all-around stuff. There's even some, general food rations or, things that you might need for a horse. This is kind of a place where a traveler would come to get some stuff for a trip.
Sorry,
How much
you weren't
does a
playing music, so I was
potion
like,
cost?
perfect.
Improvising.
I'm improvising.
Okay.
How much does like a health potion cost?
That's about 3 gold.
Oh wow,
Well,
that's cheap.
that's what you'd think.
That's expensive.
It's actually a couple days' work for most people. The shop store says, like the owner just kind of sitting there.
In all my campaigns, I'm used to health potions being like hundreds of gold. They're like really expensive.
Well, they're not the best things in the world. They'll give you about 2 or 3.
Cost to buy your shop. Just curious.
A couple hundred gold, I'd assume. Probably more than you have, though.
I got a 14 on a sleight of hand.
Oh, really? What were you trying to steal?
Probably just a random potion.
Alright, just a random potion? I mean, there's at least like 6 different colors. I mean, who knows
roll a
what those could be?
D6.
Roll a d6, man!
Yeah, give me a roll.
Yes. 1.
Alright, you go for the first one. It's red, it's solid, it's beautiful.
Yes,
You're
that
just like,
red
the
potion.
quintessential
Hell.
potion, that's the potion, grab it.
Cool.
You do manage to pocket the potion, and nothing seems amiss, they haven't noticed.
I pull out my
That's a health potion, right?
I pull out my
have
green
one.
and blue potions that I got from the other place that we were at,
Okay.
and I asked the shopkeeper, "Do you know what these are?"
Well, the green's poison.
Okay.
I thought it was anti-venom.
It's poison for anti-venom.
What about the blue one?
You make anti-venom from poison.
So it's poisonous.
Yeah, if you drink it now. But if you
But if
boil it
you're
down and add a
poisoned-
couple herbs, it'll work nicely to help get through poison.
All right. What about the blue one?
The blue one. Oh.
That's
a good question. I have
I'm not
+1
exactly
bonus
sure.
action.
I think you guys actually wrote down the blue one.
That's what I wrote. Is the
Yeah, it's a
reckless
bonus
health.
action per turn.
Blue one
But
bonus
it's the entire potion gone for that bonus
Well,
action.
thank you for chiming up because I've had them in my inventory for forever and I have no idea.
This person, the shopkeeper doesn't know what the blue potion is though.
Ooh, can I go up to him and ask him about the gold potion?
Sure.
I got this. What is it?
It's cool. It's gold.
That's what I said.
I'm not a potion master. I just sell the goods.
Can I sell some of the stuff that I got?
Okay.
Well, that would depend on what the stuff is. I guess it's a trade of sorts.
I will
Yes.
pull out that golden sunflower goddess statue thing and plop it on the counter and say, "How much for this?"
Seems a bit of bad omen to sell a religious statue.
What should I do with it then?
Well, don't mistreat it. 7 years bad luck, you know.
Strokes.
That's
could
probably
take it
gonna
to a
do it
temple.
for you anyway.
What about this telescope?
Well, the statue, I could pay about 20 for it, 20 gold pieces.
For the statue?
It's probably stolen. Nobody sells these to a general store, you know. But I'm not gonna ask questions.
All right.
Where would we sell it?
I wouldn't know. It kind of gives you this look like definitely the black market.
All right, shopkeep. Okay.
Take
Where
the
is the black
statue
market?
back into my bag and I will find
Do you sell either cowbells or fake mustaches?
I don't sell cowbells here.
But you do sell fake mustaches?
No, not really.
Do you sell any sort of disguised material?
I sell some of the classic powders, perhaps a few, artificial hairs of one kind or another. Referring to points back and there's a couple things with maybe a wig or things like that could be used.
I'm buying them.
All of them or just one of them or what?
And by powders, do you mean makeup, basically?
Oh, definitely makeup, yes.
You need a lot to change your green skin,
May I
my
get
man.
to the bathroom, by the way?
I don't
sure.
remember where it is.
Oh, it'd be
The shopkeeper's it's back in the back.
So can I have a short bow.
things up here. But
I have a short bow that I can't use because it goes off of attack.
you can easily, we'll trade that in. That's about 5 silver, I think.
Okay.
Simple short bow, easy made.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. What do you have that would run off of dexterity?
Distance weapons.
Oh yes, most thrown things, all things of accuracy.
I mean,
and
I've
skill.
got a rapier and a dagger already, but I need to replace the short bow because I'm not going to be using it.
Well,
How much for the wigs and the makeup?
the wigs and the makeup, if you're going to get a full set of wigs, it's going to be about 10 gold because most of these are legitimate hair.
How many wigs are we talking?
3 or 4.
What sort of wigs?
There's one of those poofy white ones you always see. There's this sort of long, luscious golden hair locks one. There's just a whole bunch of. It's the full variety.
Okay, I give you can have say take my money and give him the 10 gold for the wigs.
And it throws in some of the makeup powder for free. It's pretty classic stuff. Probably not rich.
And I point to him and I say, "You are a good man.
Never let anyone tell you otherwise.
Wasn't planning on it.
And if you see a cowbell, you know where to find me." I point to the inn,
Oh, dear.
roughly. I don't really know my directions, but
The shopkeeper's like, yeah.
okay. Wigs.
Alright, so the shopkeeper wouldn't know dexterity, but the shopkeeper would kind of just be like, well, peruse the weapons.
While you guys are shopping, Grog is putting on the long, flowy blonde wig. the Fabio wig.
Excellent choice.
And then I would definitely. So, how much are the cheapo potions?
Oh,
Are they free?
Yeah, they're about 2 or 3 gold a piece. Generally, about 2 if the storekeeper likes you, 3 if they don't.
Okay. I will be buying 10 of
1
them.
if you're like best buds.
I have low charisma though, so he's probably charging me for 3.
I'll give it a roll. Let's see.
I will be buying 10 of these. That's a 6. That's a 9.
Yeah, alright,
That's actually an 8 because I have a -1.
Then he's charging me 3 per piece because you seem like, they'll take it 3. You can't haggle them down.
I mean, it's true. I'm just
They expect a little bit of haggling.
I'm just looking at him being like, he doesn't have an official price and he's gonna charge me more because I'm fugly. I know this thing. All right.
Yeah, well, I'm also gonna buy 5 potions and doing some charisma 15.
Yeah, he likes you. He definitely charges you different prices and doesn't ask any questions or try to let you guys know that you pay different money. And
Yeah, I just got 5, so that's 10 gold.
yeah, minus 10 gold.
Cool.
Okay.
They're actually really useful potions, but
And it's just a lesser healing thing.
yeah, they're super. They're the kind of thing a peasant would buy.
Yeah,
It's
what
a
is
healing potion
the...
helps someone who's sick get better. It's like the ibuprofen of D&D.
And then I'm also can I buy a healer's kit also?
Absolutely.
Do you have one of those?
5 gold is a fair price, I think.
Okay. Gold given.
All right.
Alright, so I'm actually going to trade in both my short bow and my dagger.
Oh, okay.
And I would like to get a whip for 2 golds. Well,
Okay.
I'm actually going to see if I can't haggle that price down first. And I would also like to get the scimitar. Now, that would normally add up to 27 gold, but would it be charisma that I would use to try and haggle
Yeah,
that
roll
down?
for charisma.
Okay. Come on, dice, don't fail me now. Ooh, 17.
Yeah, no, he likes you. He's like, all right, good choice. And you just seem like, you're kind of young and you're just sort of naive, and he's just like, that's adorable.
I am an adorable young naive child.
And he's just like, I hope this kid doesn't die. So he's just
I need
kinda
all
like,
the help I can
look,
get.
he also thinks that you don't have as much money maybe because you're younger and you look kind of like, some of these people are older and grizzled and you're kind of young, and he's just like, oh dear,
Got no
kids don't
money.
have any money. I didn't have any money. Here you go. Better deal.
So how much is he just giving it to me,
The
or
whip?
well, the whip and the scimitar?
Well, the whip was what, 2 gold?
Yeah,
So he charges you 1.
one for the whip and how much for the scimitar?
How much is the scimitar normally?
25.
25? He's gonna charge you about 20.
Okay, so
That's
20.
5 gold less. That's a lot less.
That's not bad. So 21 is what
It's not a bad scimitar, but it's not the most rich thing you've ever seen either. It's pretty, just a pretty solid scimitar.
Alright, I like it. Yeah, I'm just gonna rate.
We good? Everyone buying their things?
Are there any nice rings or like really cool shirts?
I have a ring I could
There's
sell
just general shirts, general kinds of clothes. Not too many though. It's not like you have a million options. They're just, a bunch of regular shirts, pants. There's a bunch of like simple rings. They're not rich jewelry. They're just basic jewelry. This is the kind of way you'd expect like someone on the road to like, get a new shirt because their old shirt was ruined on the road and they just need something to get them through like the next week of travel.
I'm gonna buy the nicest shirt.
Okay.
A nice button-up shirt.
That's going to be about like 4 gold for the nicest shirt.
Okay, and then I just
It
put...
looks good though.
Yeah.
Okay, so Grant goes around to his companions and communicates to him his new persona, so that you guys understand and can maintain the ruse.
It's me.
Is it a persona?
Is Evil Grog, and the new one with the flowy blonde hair is called Blog.
What's blog?
Blog has a flowy golden, mane on top of his orc.
His ugly, lumpy orchid.
I don't know if it's really that ugly, but
No,
That's true, he has great charisma.
What's your comeliness?
Got great charisma.
What's your comeliness?
I don't think we did that.
Charisma.
Oh, charisma?
Yeah. It falls under charisma.
His
He's got a lot.
charisma is pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
So you're not
He's
actually
like
the most hideous
like
orc, but you do look kind of weird.
Comeliness is from first edition.
Yeah. But he'll go by Blog from now on.
Is that so?
As long as the wig lasts.
In that persona. He bought 4 wigs, so prepare yourselves, guys.